how Jamie Foxx experienced an intense health-related crisis that landed him in the clinic, I realize Canny don't come from a terrible spot, right? And his. And when he discussed the medications, the psychological medications, I've had an episode of that. I don't have the foggiest idea what sort of medications he was on. Perhaps he's utilizing the very sort of stuff that Kanye West was utilizing, lithium. Or anything that gracious dear. It seems like darling entertainer and comic Jamie Foxx has experienced a serious health-related crisis. The news comes from, in all honesty, his girl Corrinne Foxx, who let the cat out of the bag on her father's unexpected issues. Yet how can he really do now? Will Jamie make a full recuperation? Or would it be a good idea for us we be stressed for his life? We should figure out people. Evidently Jamie was confessed to an Atlanta medical clinic. And the web has gone wild with hypotheses and connivances about what might have occurred, yet stand by there's more amidst this large number of embarrassments. Kanye West has stood up and uncovered a few stunning insights concerning the seedier side of the music and movie enterprises in Hollywood. He is by all accounts indicating that James is taking care of confronting the strong in Hollywood. And with Jamie's new disclosures about his scandalous gatherings, Kanye has even implied that VIPs like Diddy are behind it all. Prior when it happened, it was so unexpected. It was such a lot of torment, man. Subsequent to posting an image on her Instagram, Jamie Foxx's 29-year-old little girl, Karen Fox, created all in all a ruckus among fans in her post. She composed, "We needed to share that my dad, Jamie Foxx, encountered an unexpected issue yesterday." However, she gave no insights regarding the idea of the well-being alarm. Fans were left guessing whether it was a respiratory failure or a mishap. In spite of the absence of data, Corrinne shared that Jane was at that point headed for recuperation on account of the quick and proficient consideration he got. She likewise mentioned security during this trying time for the family. Anyway, media sources were not happy with the little data they had and started exploring potential clarifications. As per media takeout, a source near the family uncovered that James had experienced a stroke, yet it was not so extreme as at first suspected. The family had decided to keep the matter hidden, yet presently the ugly truth is out in the open. Such a lot of man. I don't underestimate with regards to individuals tuning in. You made us #1 final week. We were #1 for Fox. Was whenever Fox first was #1 in the beyond 3 or 4 years. Jamie Foxx's well-being has been public information since he encountered a comparative event when he was just 18 years of age. Horrendous experience left him with a harmed self-awareness worth, and he portrayed it as residing in his most dreaded fears. The bad dreams appear to follow him wherever, making him generally nervous and unfortunate of things he saw on TV. And in obscurity, the neurosis caused him to feel insane and added to his consistent pressure from serious fixation and coming about medical conditions. Fortunately, James' companion was there to make all the difference in the wake of taking him to the emergency clinic. His companion remained close by and, surprisingly, conversed with him consistently to quiet him down from his apprehension about the dull and the evil spirits he accepted were genuine. James credits his companion for saving his life and assisting him through the extreme period years after the misfortune. Jamie Foxx, with Stilling, felt the staggering effect of his friends and family brought medication utilized. The misfortune had caused him to accept that he had caused unsalvageable harm and that he would never recuperate from it. Talking about the difficult period in his life, he said that it seemed like every one of his apprehensions were materializing and he was going off the deep end. He even went to the extent that looking into the medication PCP, which left a unique mark in his framework that he accepted, he was unable to dispose of, notwithstanding the unrest he encountered during that period. Jamie continued on and arose more grounded with a more noteworthy appreciation forever and the significance of pursuing the ideal decisions, yet the gradually expanding influences of the things that need to him in the past didn't end here, good gracious. It's truly impacted his profession as well. And that is the very thing that makes it significantly more off-putting. Only a couple of days prior, Jamie Foxx was solid and in the middle of chipping away at his most recent film, Back in Real Life, a Netflix movie that he was featuring in and delivering in Atlanta. He was excited to have Cameron Diaz ready for the venture regardless of her retirement from acting almost 10 years prior. It's been very nearly 10 years. How long has it been? 7 years, 8 years, 8 years. I figure the last movie I did was with Jamie was Annie. The abrupt, fresh insight about Jamie's health-related crisis, purportedly happening during shooting, has left fans and the media confounded and worried subsequent to being raced to the emergency clinic. He has been there for more than a week, and there is still little data about his condition. Corrinne Foxx's Instagram post didn't give many subtleties, which just fill tales and hypothesis, and accept that Jamie experienced a stroke because of the recording system, yet this has not been affirmed by his family or companions. James has been open in the past about his medical problems and what they meant for him. Genuinely, his fans trust he will recuperate soon and return to the big screen. As per an insider, the entertainer is as of now receptive to everything, and he is totally alert. Over the course of the end of the week, he actually invested energy in the medical clinic, yet he is supposed to go through a full recuperation. No assertions from the entertainer have been accounted for yet. He is as of now recuperating, and his well-being is consistently improving too. While he actually recuperates, the Back in Real Life Netflix movie stays underway, as they used to Jamie Foxx's body twofold for the leftover scenes. The recording of Back in Real Life had negatively affected both Jamie's psychological and actual well-being. Yet Cameron Day is declaring her retirement again halfway through shooting, and the film not turning out as he had trusted. Pressures were intense. Truth be told, simply last month, Jeannie had a complete implosion on set and terminated numerous individuals. That he had a whole implosion on set, and he's tossed in the entire presentation into disarray at terminating one of the leader makers, two chiefs, and surprisingly, his own driver anyway. This wasn't the most exceedingly terrible of it. Jamie nearly got examined out of 33,000 pounds in a Rolex extravagance watch by, and afterward there was the bomb alarm in London, where the second Great War bomb was viewed at the set, causing shooting as suspended. This occurrence would have been unpleasant for anybody, not to mention somebody who was at that point exhausted like Jamie. Considering this multitude of occurrences, a stroke appeared to be a legitimate clarification anyway. One thing that doesn't make any sense is the reason Karen and Jamie's marketing expert were so reluctant to discuss the reason for the well-being alarm, assuming it was because of work pressure. Regardless of Corinne's Instagram post, when gotten some information about Jamie's condition, the marketing expert would not give any sign of what had happened. He said nothing more as of now than what was posted. Yet truly, Jamie has a dim past, including a ton of medications. I was sufficiently fortunate to have individuals like my sister, like my family, say, yo, you can't go out right now since you said he's talking insane at 18. Foxx had gone through a similar occurrence that left him with profound, close-to-home injuries. It had been a vital crossroads in his day-to-day existence, and he felt as though he was caught in a ceaseless bad dream. He discussed this troublesome time in his life, saying, "How could it cause me to want to reside in your most dreaded fears?" This bad dream followed him for quite a while outside the emergency clinic room too. He began to take a gander at light contrastingly, and was continually tense. You're apprehensive about the dim, terrified of things you see on the TV. You feel that things are coming at you. I felt distrustful, and suspicion is absurdity. It's bad. Jamie's chronic drug use almost ended his life. Once before, he nearly went into a state of unconsciousness because of the weighty medications. He reviewed that dim time in his life. Something is continuing, and I don't have the foggiest idea what it is. Nevertheless, I will brave it. That was the last point I made. And afterward, I was practically in a state of extreme lethargy, and I was unable to move, couldn't talk, lacked the ability to say, "Take me to the clinic, Jamie." Struggled with adapting to his enslavement and the subsequent medical problems. He accepted that he might have lost his life, if not for his companion's help. James thinks back, my companion remained with me at the emergency clinic. Then he returned me to the quarters, and I was frightened of the dim. He conversed with me consistently, calming me and consoling me by making statements like, "You're okay. The devils aren't genuine." He saved my life, even following a little, while Jane experienced serious side effects from his exorbitant medication use. He felt like he had forever harmed himself, and that recuperation from this mishap was unthinkable. Talking about that dim period in his life, he said it seemed like every one of my feelings of dread were materializing, and I was flipping out after it happened. I set out to find out about PCP. It leaves a follow that can't be eradicated from your framework. This truly makes us think, has this well-being alarm got anything to do with James' substance misuse? It's a loosely held bit of information that Jamie Foxx had his own battle against medications, and kid was it serious. While discussing Kanye West's open implosions, Jamie became authentic and discussed how he personally had been from Kanye's point of view. Once I realized Kanye don't come from an awful spot, right? And here's it. And when he discussed the medications, the psychological medications, I've had an episode of that, talking about Kane the rapper appeared to be the one in particular that could comprehend what Jamie is going through, you see, despite the fact that Jamie's friends and family have not affirmed it. Kanye West has made his own cases about the circumstance subsequent to confronting different difficulties, not set in stone, to uncover the clouded side of media outlets. In 2022, he started his mission of uncovering Hollywood, charging that few people in the business had vanished without a follow. He likewise guaranteed that its makers were endeavoring to damage and control them on Hollywood. How many individuals come up missing feels like it very well, maybe a ton of that to control.